Hello, I am the Linux Mitch. In my last video, I took the Arch Linux August 1st, 2023 ISO, and I did a manual installation, and I encrypted the drive. And I showed you how to change the encryption password after the fact. But I did a base installation. So today I'm going to do a post installation. I'm going to install all my favorite apps and desktop and window managers. So let's get to it. So I rebooted into my brand new installation of Arch Linux, but it is a base installation with no user or just root, but it's been encrypted. So it's asking me for the encryption password, and I apologize for the small font. So I'm going to type in my encryption password. And hopefully I typed it right. And I did. So now it's asking me to log in. Now I don't have a user yet, so I'm going to log in as root. And I'm going to type in root's password. And now I'm going to make the font larger so you can see it. And this is the first time I'm doing a post installation in the TTY with large font. Let's do set font tier dash 128. B for bold. There we go, that's better. And let's clear the screen. And you know what, I'm going to make it a little larger. Let's do, oops. Let's type in 132B. Okay, so let's clear the screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a user. So for myself, so I'm going to type in user add -m Mensch. So now I'm going to give Mensch a password. So I'm going to type in PASSWD Mensch. Now that's password without the O and without the R. PASSWD Mensch. I'm going to put Mensch's password in. I'm going to retype it. So now the password's been updated. So we have Mensch, and he has a password. Now I'm going to give Mensch sudo privileges. So I'm going to type in vim, oops, sorry. So I'm going to type in vim /etc/sudoers, and I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to scan down. To here. So most people and teachers and installations will give a user sudo by making them part of the wheel group. I do it differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this file and I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to delete root and type in Mensch. And you can give Mensch sudo privileges this way. This is the way I always do it. Save the file. So now I'm going to log out. And I'm going to log in as Mensch. I'm going to put his password in. And now I'm logged in as Mensch. Let's clear the screen. So now I'm going to make a folder called mkdir. I'm going to make a folder called period config. I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm going to download my GitLab repository, or Mensch's GitLab repository. So I'm going to do git clone https://gitlab.com/ rdbis1/mensch.git. And if I typed it right, it will download my GitLab repository, and it will only take a split second. And it's done. Let's cd into Mensch. Well, let's just do it this way. Let's ls. Let's ls8. And you can see all the folders that are there. There's not too many. There's the config folder I made and matches folder. Let's cd into match ls. Now in matches folder, I cleaned it up maybe a month or so ago. So if you downloaded matches folder a long time ago, you should do a git pull. And it will clean up the folder for you. So if you want to update the folder, because I'm always making changes to the folder, you would do git pull. First of all, you have to make sure you're in the match folder and not right in your home folder. Once you're in matches folder, you have to do git pull. And it says it's already up to date. And if you downloaded my Git Laboratory a long time ago, it's going to download all the files. Now, if you've moved these files into the correct places in your home directory where you want them to be, it won't change those files. It will just update the match folder. So you're still going to have to copy some of those files where you want them to be. Anyways, that's how you update the match folder. So anyways, I downloaded the match folder and I cleaned it up a month or two ago. And I put it into 3 sections: Arch, Debian, and FreeBSD. So we're going to cd into the Arch folder. And I'm going to ls it. And these are all the files in there. So the first file I'm going to look at is auto app. So let's vim into it. Vim auto. And I'm only vimming into it because I want to show you it. This is an auto install file. It's going to automatically install all these files. So you can read them. It's going to install Firefox, uBlock Origin, my window managers, my Zesh files, Neofetch. Well, I already installed Neofetch when I did my base install. It's going to reinstall it. And it's going to install... my mouse won't work here. It's going to install some music players. It's going to install all the codexes for videos and music and all kinds of stuff. Like DM, login manager, and so forth. It's going to install the firewall and Bluetooth and lots of other files. So you might want to take a look in here and see if you really want to run this file, because when you run this file, it's going to automatically install all these things. So let's get out of here, but I'm going to run it. Let's clear the screen. So I'm going to type in /auto. I'm going to tab it to put the full name in, and I'm going to enter it. It's asking for my password. I'm going to put my password in, and I'm going to hit enter. Enter again. Enter again, and it's downloading all the files. So this is going to take about 5 minutes, so I'm going to pause the video and come back. See you soon. Okay, so that took about 5 minutes, but there was a lot of packages to install. So I'm going to clear the screen, and now I'm going to ls again, and there's another file I want to look at. It's called run configs. Now I can't use my mouse yet because we're still in the TTY. And of course, the mouse doesn't work in the TTY. So on my screen, it's the top file on the far right corner. It's called runconfigs.sh. Now I'm going to take a look at it just to show you what's in there. Vim run, and I'm going to tab it. So this is a file I created, and it's going to run a bunch of things. If you run the file, it's going to... The first line, let's go down, not the blue lines, but these other lines here. It's going to copy xnet, rc, xresources, my Zesh file, and some other files into the home folder. It's going to copy this line here. It's going to copy 3 wallpapers into the home folder. This file is going to copy my awesome window configuration file and my Qtile window manager configuration file into the proper place. It's going to copy some configurations for LightDM, the login manager. It's going to copy a configuration for my Vim, a configuration for my Zesh RC. It's going to copy a line to make sure the GNOME desktops are darkened, have dark theme. It's going to enable my Bluetooth service. It's going to enable my LightDM. Now by enable, I mean when you restart, it's going to be turned on automatically when you reboot or put the computer on. It's going to, now we installed the firewall. If you ran my auto apps, you installed the firewall, but this is going to set the firewall settings to block all, allow outgoing and block all incoming. And it's going to make sure the firewall is turned on and that the firewall is always turned on when you start up your computer or you reboot your computer. So it's up to you whether you want to run this or not, but these are the things I like to do and I'm going to run it. So that's what's in the file. And I'm going to clear the screen. So to make the file work, we're going to do /run, and I'm going to tab it. And it's asking for my password. I'm going to put my password in. And it ran. And it's telling you at the very bottom line, the firewall is active and enabled on startup. So let's hit enter. Now let's just double check. Let's do sudo uncomplicated firewall status. And the firewall is active. And we can also do this, verbose. And the firewall is active. Deny incoming, allow outgoing. And of course, that run config file did a lot of other things as well. Let's clear the screen. And I'm going to CD out of, I'm going to CD out of here. Now I want to make sure that my Zesh file is working. Let's type in Zesh. And I can see my Zesh is working. Type in sudo vim etc password. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to make Zesh my default shell, because right now bash is the default shell. So I'm going to do go into the end of this line. I'm going to change that to Zesh. Then I'm going to go down to Mensch and see line 20 where Mensch is. I'm going to go to the end of his line and change that to Zesh. And I'm going to save the file. And I'm going to reboot. And if everything's working, Zesh should now be the default shell, and it should take me to LightDM, the login manager, or as it's properly called, the display manager. Oh yes, I encrypted the system. So, and I apologize for the small font. So I'm going to type in my encryption password. And it's decrypting the drive. And there we are. We're at the login manager, or as it's properly called, the display manager, LightDM. So I'm going to put Mensch's password in. Before I do that, I'm going to go into Awesome. We're going to go into Awesome first. And we're in the Awesome window manager. Not the default one, but the one with all my configurations. So let's open up Firefox. Let's see if he opens up. And we have Firefox working. And in here we have a calculator. We have, this is a music player for the terminal. Disk usage is a GNOME app. We have HTOP. Let's do HTOP. And we're running at 266 megabytes of RAM. So in this machine, I gave it 4 processors. I gave it 4 gigs of RAM and no swap. And right now we're running at 275 megabytes of RAM. Not bad. Bet you Debian or Linux Mint or Ubuntu or Ubuntu, I bet you they can't beat that. Yes, sirree. So let's close this. I also have PCman FM, the file manager. Oh, so let's hold down the mod key and hit the P and type in custom. I'm going to click on Matera Dark, and I'm going to click on Icon, and I'm going to click on Papyrus Dark. And we're also going to hold down the mod key and hit P. I'm going to type in Power. I'm going to go into Power Manager, and this is just something I like to do. Display, I'm going to turn off. I don't like screensaver, and I don't like my computer going to sleep. You can leave these things on, it's up to you. So now let's type in, let's click on PC Man FM, the file manager, and we have dark theme. We have some wallpapers too. Let's click on, also I have Rhythmbox, which is a music player. I also have LibreOffice was installed if you ran my apps. And this is kind of ugly. Let's go into tools. Let's go to options. Let's go to view. Let's change this to Breeze Dark. Let's apply it and okay it. There we go, that's better. So we have LibreOffice installed. We have the Word document program, of course, because I have the whole LibreOffice suite installed. What did I open up Rhythmbox? I think I already did, right? Rhythmbox is a music player, and there's a lot of other programs installed here. Let's go to calculator. There's a GNOME calculator, and so forth. So let's click at let's go into Xterm. Let's just make that a little larger. Oops, a little larger. Let's do a Neofetch. Whoops, that's too large. How's that? So we have here, there's my Neofetch, and I'm running Xterm. I'm in the awesome window manager. So let's close this. Let's quit out of here. And let's go into Qtile. Put my password in. And I have Qtile with my configuration file, not default Qtile, but my Qtile with my personal configuration file. Now the mouse doesn't work in Qtile, it's not supposed to. So let's say I do the mod key and F will open up Firefox. There's Firefox. And Shift mod key C closes it. Let's do mod key H for HTOP. So now we're running at 283 megabytes of RAM. And I already opened up the web browser a few times and so forth. Isn't that amazing? Now, let's go to, let's quit out of there. And let's go into Cinnamon. Now, in Cinnamon, I don't have my own configuration file for Cinnamon. And when you download Cinnamon in Arch Linux or in Debian, if you go into a pure Debian and also download Cinnamon, in pure Debian or pure Arch, it's but ugly. So Cinnamon is easy enough to configure, it's easy enough to use. So I'm going to quickly go through that, and I'm going to hide my face because whenever I configure Cinnamon, my face is always blocking stuff. Anyways, let's go in. It's just going to take a moment to open, and there it is. So I'm going to block my face, or sorry, I'm going to hide my face. And first thing I'm going to do is fix the display. And you only have to do this because it's a virtual machine. If you're in bare metal, you won't have to do this. Next thing I'm going to do is turn on the volume. I don't know why that's off by default. Next thing I'm going to do is change the clock settings. I'm going to give it network time. I'm going to get rid of 24-hour clock and display date. And I'm going to close that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to themes. And I'm going to click on dark. And I'm going to go to advanced settings. And I'm going to go to icons. And click on Papyrus. And I'm going to go here and Oh, before I do that, I'm going to add and remove. I'm going to download some more themes, and I'm doing this for the Cinnamon. And I like Adara. When I'm in the Cinnamon desktop, I like Adara Dark. So I'm going to click it on, and I'm going to download it. Now I'm going to close the screen. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Let's go back into themes. And I'm going to click on here, and click on Adara. And hopefully that's working. So I'm going to go here. So now I'm going to go into my file manager. I'm going to make it large. Oops, I didn't want to go there actually. So I'm going to get rid of this printer because I don't have a printer. Let's remove printers. And what else do I want to do? I want to go into background. Change background. Let's go to settings. Let's click that on. And let's go back to images. Let's plus it. Let's go home. Now I've selected my wallpaper. I'm going to turn this slideshow off. And I'm going to close that. Now I have to say that there's something a bit wonky with the wallpaper application in the Cinnamon desktop. And it's been like this for the last few upgrades. And I don't know why. Now it's working properly in Linux Mint. And of course, in case you don't know, Linux Mint, they are the developers that created the Cinnamon desktop. So Linux Mint created the Cinnamon desktop. They maintain it and they update it. And then of course, if you're using Debian or Arch Linux or some other Linux or many other Linux distributions, you can download the Cinnamon desktop. So the most updated form of the Cinnamon desktop, it works properly in Linux Mint. And it does work properly in Arch Linux, but there's something a little wonky about the wallpaper application, and you have to fiddle around with it to get it. You have to turn on slideshow and click on the folders and pull the folders down until you get your wallpaper turned on, and then you got to turn off the slideshow. And I don't know why it's doing that, but anyways, I have the wallpaper set. Now another thing I want to do is go into, well, let's just go here. Let's not go there. Let's go into settings. And for the Cinnamon desktop, I like to turn the power manager off. Now we turned it off in the Awesome Window Manager. Now I have Qtile and the Awesome Window Manager are sharing the same power manager, but the Cinnamon desktop has its own power manager, so I'm turning it off because I don't like it to put my computer to sleep. And I'm going into screensaver and I'm turning that off too. And of course you can leave that on. Now I'm going to go into font and I'm going to change this to sans bold and I'm going to kick it up to 11. Oh, I think that's better. Now I'm going to go and get the weather app. So I'm going to go into applets. I'm going to hit download and it's downloading the cache. You can see right here, it's downloading and updating the cache. Then I'm going to click on weather app and I'm going to click on this arrow to download it. So it's downloading the weather app. Now I'm going to go back to manage. So I'm going to click on this button manage. I'm going to highlight the weather app again. Now I'm going to go down and click on the plus sign. And now the weather app is installed. This is the weather app. It's the best weather app in the whole Linux world. None of the other desktop environments have a weather app like the Cinnamon desktop. So that's the weather app. And you can go in here. Like that, and so forth. And if you want to configure it, you can go into configure and make changes to it. Let's do the minute precipitation forecast. And let's close it. And let's open it again. And let's do this. And there you go. That's the weather app. That's Nemo, the file manager. That's That's it. Let's open up Firefox. Internet. Let's go into Firefox. There's Firefox. You have your whole Office suite. You have Celluloid, which is a video player. We have ClipGrab, which is a program that will grab a YouTube video or any videos that you're watching and download it into your system so that you own it. And all these apps that are here, they're here because I have them in my install script. So if you didn't install my auto app configuration file, you won't have these in there. Here's Rhythmbox. These are only there because that whole paragraph of applications that's in my .autoapp.sh file, they're in there, and that's why these files are there. So now I'm going to get out of here. Let's log out. I'm going to go back into the awesome window manager. Let's click this on. Let's put my password in. Now we're in the awesome window manager with my configuration. Now I'm going to do something that I've never done before in my post-installation videos of Arch Linux or in my full videos of Arch Linux. This is something I've never done before on video. And what I'm going to do is, well, now I did a video a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago about this, but it was a video by itself. And that was the first time I did that. But I've never done this in my post-installation video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the AUR. So let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is, well, let's open up Firefox. And we're going to go to archlinux.org. I typed it right. And I'm going to go to AUR. And I'm going to make this a little larger too so you can see it. And I just realized that my face is still hidden. And of course, I hid my face because whenever I'm doing, showing people how I like to configure the Cinnamon desktop environment, especially when I'm showing the weather app, I don't realize my face is blocking it until after I've made the video and I'm editing it. And I always end up blocking stuff in the Cinnamon desktop. So I always take my face away. And when I'm in the awesome window manager or the Qtile window manager, my face doesn't block things as much. Although it does when I go to websites. Anyways, what I'm going to do is, we're in the AUR. I'm going to type in yay. Now I'm going to click on yay bin. I don't want the yay one. I want the yay bin one. And the reason why I want the yay bin one is that bin stands for binary and they download faster. So I always, when I'm using packages from the AUR, if there's a bin one available, I always choose the bin one because they're compiled. We're going to install yay. We're going to go here. And what I'm going to do is, you can see it was updated on July 30th, so it's a recent update. I'm going to copy this line right up here. Oops, I didn't get the whole line. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go to another workspace. I'm going to go to a terminal. I'm going to make that a little larger. I'm going to type in git clone. And I'm going to paste this in. And we're installing yay. Now I'm going to cd into yay. And I'm going to ls it just to see what's there. And I'm going to less pk. I'm going to view the package build. Just make sure everything is okay in here. And I'm going to quit. So now I'm going to do make pkg -sic. And it's going to compile and build yay. It's going to take a moment. Oh, it's asking for my password. Password in, and it's done. Oh, that was fast. So I'm going to cd out of there. So there's two packages in the AUR that are only available in the AUR on Arch that I'm going to install. I'm going to install a Brave browser, and I'm going to install Librewolf, which is a hardened fork of Firefox. And if you're in Arch and you want them, you got to get them from the AUR. Now they both have a bin file, so I'm going to install the bin one because it's a binary one that's faster. So I'm going to type in this command, EA -S -brave -bin. And let's just go back to the website for a second. If you're not sure, you know, when you go to the website, you're at home, right? If you go to AUR, you could just type in Brave. You can see they have the bin one there. Click it on. Or you could just type in Librewolf, and you can see there's a Librewolf bin, and click it on. And then click it on here. And copy that. But anyways, so I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back to the workspace. So I know there's a Brave bin. So you're just going to type in yay -s Brave bin. Hit enter. Hit enter again. Hit enter again. And it's installing it. And proceed with installation. Hit enter. And there we have it. Now I'm going to install Librewolf. Yay -s Librewolf -bin. Hit enter, hit enter. And now it's installing, it's cloning, building, installing, import. Yes. And it's installing Librewolf. Hit, and now it's asking me if I want to proceed with the installation. I'm going to hit enter. And it's done. So I'm going to close the this, and I'm going to restart. Now I don't have them in my menu, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my terminal. Now if you have my Zech configuration file, you just have to type in config, but that's only if you have my configuration file, and that's way too big. And I'm going to go down to Firefox, and Y is copy. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to type out Librewolf, and I'm going to go over here. Oops. Delete that. Type in Librewolf. And I already have a Brave up here, but it's commented out. So in the Awesome Window Manager, comments are not the number sign, they're 2 dashes. 2 dashes deactivates a line. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to eye it. Take it out. There. I'm going to save the file. I'm going to close this. I'm going to reactivate it. Restart. Awesome. And let's see if it's in my menu now. So we have Brave in the menu now. Let's click it on. We have the Brave browser. Let's click on Librewolf and see if that opens up. Librewolf. And now we have Librewolf, a hardened fork of Firefox. Let's quit out of here. Well, actually, let's go to Cinnamon first. Go back into Cinnamon for a sec. So we're in Cinnamon, and they're automatically added into the menu. If you go into Internet, you see we have Brave and we have, oh sorry, we have Brave and we have Librewolf now. Let's click on Brave. And that's done. Let's click on Librewolf. And that's done. So, I mean, the Cinnamon desktop is a full desktop environment. It's user-friendly. So let's close that. Now I'm going to go into Qtile. Let's log out of there. Let's go up here to Qtile. Put my password in. Now we're in Qtile. Now the mouse doesn't work, so the mod key, enter, opens the terminal. And you know what, I'm going to make that a little larger. And if you're using my Zesh configuration file, to get in, all you got to do is do Qtile config. And it takes you right there, and that's way too big. So let's go down to Firefox. Oh, I already have Brave in there. How about that? Mod key B turns on Brave. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this Firefox. So I'm going to hit YY to copy it. I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to change that F to a W. Oops. And I'm going to change this Firefox to Librewolf. And I'm just going to make a space there just so it looks nicer. And hopefully this works. I'm going to save the file. I'm going to close the terminal. I'm going to refresh. It's Control Mod R is refresh. Remember, there's no mouse in here. So let's mod key B is Brave. There we have it. The Brave browser. Shift mod key C closes it. Now let's do mod key W. Now we have Librewolf, the hardened fork of Firefox. Let's close it. And I'm going to get out of here. And I'm just going to show you a few things. I guess this is going to be a longer video than I thought. I'm going to go into Awesome, put my password in. In my last video, I showed you how to change your encrypted hard drive password in the terminal. This time, I'm going to show you how to do it an easier way. So we're going to click on, and before I show you that, there's a few more things I want to show you. So in the terminal, let's just make this larger. If you type in sudo pacman syu, it's going to only update all the official Arch Linux packages that need updating. If you type in this command, yay -syu, it's going to it's going to update all official Arch Linux packages and AUR packages that need updating. It will do everything. And if you type in this command, yay sua, it's only going to update the AUR packages. It won't update the regular official Arch Linux packages. Now you say, well, why would somebody want to do that? Well, sometimes the packages in the AUR take longer to build and update. So sometimes a person might want to just do a regular update and do the AUR update separately, especially if they're in a hurry. So that's this command, yay-sua will only update the AUR packages. Now there's one more command I want to show you, and that's yay-pu. This is going to print a list of AUR packages that need updating. Now I'm going to hit enter, and it's blank. There's nothing there because I only have 2 AUR packages in here, Brave and Librewolf, and I just installed them. So there's nothing to be updated. So if you type in this command, it's going to print a list of all AUR packages that need updating, but it's not going to update them. It's just going to inform you of what needs to be updated. You know what? Let's go into the Cinnamon desktop. Let's go to here. Let's just type in disks. We don't want disk usage analyzer, we want disks. And we're going to make it full screen. We're going to click on the 21 gigabyte hard drive. We're going to click on the top one that says partition to 21 gigabyte Lux. We want the Lux one. 21 gigabyte Lux encryption. We're going to click on not the lock, but this one here. Change passphrase. So I'm putting in my current password, which is a longer one. And I'm going to put in a new password. I'm going to make a short one. And you can click on to show passphrases, but I don't want you to see these. I'm going to change it. Now it's asking for my sudo password. So, or my password for root. So I'm going to click on my root password. And it's changing it. Looks like it's frozen, but I think it's working. Oh, it's working. It's done. So now I'm going to close it. And I'm going to reboot. Let's restart. So this video is turning out to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but hey, what the heck. I'm going to have timestamps in it, so it'll be easy for you to go to the section you want to watch. So it's asking me for my encryption password. Let's see if my new password works. And it's working. I can tell, because there's something different when it doesn't work, and it's taking me to the login manager. And let's go to awesome. So I don't know why the clock is off. Let's just go into root. Now I think I messed up something in my base installation. Let's see if that fixes it. And that didn't fix it. So that means, what does that mean? I messed up something in my base install. So I'm going to fix it. I'm going to retype some of these commands. SF, USR, share, zone info, America, Toronto, Etsy, local time. And I'm not sure which one I messed up. Oh, now it's fixed. How about that? Now, let's just see if I reboot, if it stays fixed. For my encryption password. And my login password. And I fixed the clock. So I don't know, I probably, when I did my base installation in my last video, I probably mistyped that one line. One letter or something to that effect. Oh, in this video, I went through all my post installation for Arch Linux, and I did it for the first time with large print in the TTY. Because before, my work in the TTY was always with tiny small print or font. And then I also, For the first time in an installation video, I installed 3 packages from the AUR: Yay, the Brave browser, and Librewolf browser. And I threw in a bonus. I showed you how to change your encryption password in the GUI with GNOME disks. And when I did my base video, I messed up the clock. So the clock was showing the wrong time zone. And I didn't even realize it until I was doing this video. When I was making this video, and then I realized, why is my clock off? So I showed you how to fix the clock in the terminal. If you did learn something today and you enjoyed the video, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I am the Linux Mensch.